So after Fulham's late show against Brentford at Wembley that booked themselves a spot in next season's Premier League, I thought I'd take a little look back at what I thought would happen in this season's Championship. Did I expect Brentford to make the playoffs? Leeds, West Brom to get up automatically? What about these boys? Where did I think Blackburn Rovers were going to end up? Well, let's waste no more time and find out. That's right, folks, back once again with another reaction show. Today we're going to take a look back at my 2019-2020 Championship predictions, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button and get me back up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, whoa, football related. We got it all here, boys, under one roofski. Yes, we are here, of course. It's all done and dusted now. As matey boys, where are we? What can I just slide that over there? Yes, we can. Of course, Brentford sucker punched by Fulham in the old Championship playoff, and they'll be playing the likes of Wycombe Wanderers again. Oh my goodness gracious me! They were on the cusps of taking on the Uniteds, the Cities, the Liverpools, all that kind of stuff. But they're going to have to duke it out with us again, unfortunately. But what did I think would happen this time around? Did I expect Brentford to make it to the playoffs, or did I think they'll go all out? Well, let's take a little look, of course, and wind back the clock. And before we do that, I'm just sliding in there, getting comfortably. What a big shout out to the Patreons. That's right, for supporting the channel. Big love for those guys. Gives me a big old a smile on my face each and every day. There's 12 of them now, which is a dozen. Happy days. Look for the baker's dozen, which means unlucky for some 13. Could you be number 13? Well, if you're interested, get in the old description down below. There is a link to the Patreon page, patreon.com/Roverseas. You do get some perks and privileges. I am working them as a talking. For example, all patrons will get access to a live spreadsheet, which does have the data for all of the prediction leagues, boys and girls. You can't cheat and put the stuff in there, but you can take a look at when I edit the document. So make sure you check that out. It's either going to be live now or very, very soon. So it's this week. Anyway, let's get into it. So anyway, the big shout out to the patrons. Of course, Dylan Goddard recently joined. So respect to you, William Shepherd, LG and Cow, Bianca Moller, Daniel Meller, Cody Cahoe, Joachim Johansson, Tom Beresford, Tom Clark, John Spurn, Russell Frost, and Aztec, Marky B. Mark. I love all of yous. Anyway, we are here. Of course, this is behind the scenes is a lot of my predictions. I do make a fair few, and I do appreciate the support on the videos. 8,000 of you stopped by to take a look at me making a prediction all the way back on the 23rd of July. So usually I would have had my my new picks out already. This is the video itself. Look at him. Look how ugly he looks there. Look at him. Look at the clown. Look at the state of him. Look at all his hair. Anyway, we're gonna skip forward and plough forward. And as I do like to go through a website called wolffootball.com and go through the games, and I did do that with this. I'm not going to show you those. We're going to get straight to the meat of the matter, which is... Let's get into it then and take a little look at what I'm talking about. Let's see how I did. So hopefully he won't say a thing, because he's got a whiny like a voice, and he talks too fast. Anyway, so in the middle, I went with Preston North End in 13th spot. In my eyes, in the real world, it was QPR. Now Preston did have an okay season, just finished shy of the playoffs. So they're a little bit, of course they were in the hot seat for a long time, but they kind of fell off the wayside towards the back end of the season. So unfortunately for them, and QPR again, they had an okay season. I think I did put them lower down. We'll find that out. Actually, Preston did finish in 9th in the end. Next up, we have Nottingham Forest finishing 14th. They are the unluckiest team in the world. They should have been in the playoffs. They had it was all on the plate. I couldn't believe it. I did expect them to have a bit of a struggle though in 14th spot. In the real world, it was Reading. Reading finishing strongly, and again, Reading and QPR were two teams I did expect to struggle this year. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't convinced by Warburton, a QPR manager, and Reading. I just it was a little bit, and I do worry for them as well next season. I'm already thinking about next season. I do anticipate these two teams that are in the 13th and 14th in the real world. I do expect them to struggle once again, but they might be saved by the likes of other Wycombe Wanderers next season. But we'll talk more about that when we get closer to it. So QPR 13th, Reading 14th. In my eyes, I did predict Preston and North End. I went with Hull in 15th. I did expect a season of struggle, but goodness gracious me. Did anybody see that bad boy coming? Did anybody expect Hull to be in such free fall? It was like their heart had been ripped out of them when Bowen left. It was like, sell Grosicki, yeah, we understand that, but sell Bowen. And then, you set up for a good chunk of change as well. But why not reinvest? Why not give them a chance of bringing in Marcus Madsen? That didn't work out, did it? It was a shower of shite, and to be honest with you, I didn't see it. I thought at the start of the season, I thought Hull were doing okay, and they were around about 15th spot. But yeah, that January transfer window, if they got through that and kept Bowen, I'm sure they would still be up right now. And sold. If they sold him now, then maybe they can actually plan. But clueless owners at Hull. I feel for McCann. He's been labelled the scapegoat. Is he still in charge? I don't know. I think he still is. But 15th. In the real world, it was Stoke. Again, they ended the season strongly. I'm not convinced by their manager, Michael O'Neill, just yet. I think if they finish in the top 12 next season, I will be. They should be content with that. I think they did have a lot of wage on their books. Transition period didn't work out with that Nathan Jones fella. And right now it's okay with O'Neill, but we'll see next season. I don't know. So 15th, I predicted Hull. Of course, they went down. Stoke City 15th, and I think I did expect Stoke to do better. 16th, I did go for Luton. They did survive. They didn't finish as high as 16th though. That honour goes to Sheffield Wednesday, another team I do remember sticking them further down the pecking order. And of course, next season they're going to have a 12-point deduction, so I wouldn't bank on them being in the top 6 next season. Of course, Monk is a decent manager, I think. And to be honest with you, I did make that prediction before Monk. I think was Stevie Bruce in charge at the start of the season. They left. Yeah, and then there was a little bit of a kerfuffle. I didn't know who was going to come in and charge. That's why I put Sheffield Wednesday so far down. Because I didn't expect Monk. Once Monk came in, I thought, shoot, I should really change it. But of course, financial penalties and all that, that's coming, boys. That's coming. It's probably going to come for Derby as well. Barnsley in 17th. I did actually predict them to stay up. Of course, a little bit further up the field than they actually did, but they did stay up. So a pat on the back for me. Got Luton, and I also got flipping Barnsley staying up. So I'm going to give myself a couple of pats on the back on that one. I actually went Middlesbrough was 17th, and again they disappointed me. I did call. I thought Woodgate would get fired a long time ago. It did take him a long time to make that decision to bring in Warnock. And he obviously saved him, and he's done a good job to stick around again another season. Will this be his last club? I don't know. He keeps saying it's going to be my last club. It's going to be my last club. 18th was Wigan. Of course, they did finish further up the table, but with the points deduction, it did bring them down. Huddersfield did finish, in fact, in 18th. A team again I did expect to do much better. I think the majority of the predictors out there didn't expect the likes of Middlesbrough and Huddersfield and even Stoke to be this far down. So I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So I did expect Wigan to struggle. They did finish up in 23rd after the deduction. Barnsley actually finished in 21st. Reading, I did go 19th, so they finished in 14th. In the real world, it was Luton, so we've already seen those two. I did expect Luton to cause some opposition. First season back. Next season's going to be massive for them. Of course, they've got Jones now. Is he going to be lured once again with cash? Because, of course, he's done a fantastic job with Luton. I think what he lose once since his return. Is that mentality going to be there next season? Are they going to be able to push up further on the table? 20th, I went Charlton. Birmingham was my call. And to be honest with you, they finished in... I think I actually got them further down. Further down, yeah. Everyone was laughing at me. Birmingham down there? What are you talking about? We'll see that in a minute. But, of course, To be honest with you, I think next season they're going to be different. I think Karanka is a better manager. I didn't believe in this Pep Cassette business. I thought that was asking for trouble. So Birmingham finished in 20th. In my eyes, I went with Charlton, who did actually finish in 22nd and got relegated. So unfortunately, I did get that one wrong, but only just. It was a close call in the end, and nobody expected this season to be like this. With the old COVID and all that kind of stuff. Did it work out in anyone's favours? I don't know, not really. Millwall, I went with 21 for 21st spot. Of course, they finished up as high as, 8th? And they'll be looking to do that again next season. Will they be able to do that next season? I don't know. I went with, in the real world, it was Barnsley. So Barnsley will be back next season, and that's been confirmed. Of course, Wigan's relegation has been nailed on. They're going down. So already, as a Rover, I'm already looking forward to next season. And the likes of Barnsley, Luton, QPR and Reading, and Sheffield Wednesday, I think, and the likes of Wickham, Coventry and Rotherham. You know what? I think Rovers do have a good chance to push up for the table. And as for the teams coming down from the Premier League, you're looking at Norwich. They'll be difficult. Watford, I think they're going to have a little bit of a rude awakening. And who's the other team? Bournemouth, also a bit of a rude awakening. So 22nd was Birmingham. I went with 20th, and then in the real world it was Charlton. So not too bad on that one. 23rd, Wigan in the real world. I did have them as 18th. Sheffield Wednesday. There's Sheffield Wednesday that far down. Maybe I was expecting the deduction to take place, because if that was the case, they would be down there. They would be down in that neck of the woods. So yeah, Birmingham wasn't too far off. People laughed at that. And they also gave me grills about Sheffield Wednesday, and I remember now, I did go QPR at the bottom. So fair play. They were good. They were good this season. Surprisingly good. Will they be as good next season? I don't know. They've got some really good talent, and they're going to sell it, and they're going to make some money, and hopefully they'll reinvest it, and they'll be a decent little side. So yeah. So bottom half, it's patchy. Of course, there are some good predictions there. The rest look a little bit wobbly. But big negative on the old QPR. Got that completely wrong. And also the likes of Nottingham Forest and Preston are pretty shabby as well. So they're pretty bad. Into the top half of the table we will go. Go on then. Speed up, son. Let's take a little look at who's in 12th spot. Did I go Rovers? Well, obviously I went with the top half finish, and of course Rovers did finish in the top half as well. Unfortunately, they didn't finish high enough. It's going to be definitely an interesting season next season. I'm looking at 12th place Bristol City. I'll reveal that now. Bristol City did finish in 12th. We'll take a look at who I thought in a second. Lee Johnson, I thought if they kept him, I think they'll be in the mix again. But they're bringing in some, I think, an assistant manager, Holden or something like that. I just don't think it's going to work out. I think they're balancing the books, and a lot of clubs will have to balance the books to manage the COVID effects this season. So Bristol City, I don't think they'll be as high this season. I think they're going to be in the lower echelons. Brentford, I had them in 12th. What was I thinking? Goodness gracious me. I thought, bringing in the players that they did, very good players in the end. I thought it was too much too soon, and of course I didn't believe in the Frankster. What was I thinking? Of course they did finish up nice and high in third spot. Unfortunately they did miss out on the automatics, and goodness gracious me, what a collapse that was as well. They looked so good, and I thought I really wanted them to go up as automatics. I really did. Next season, what's going to be on the tail of the tape for them? Will they be able to keep a lot of them players? A lot of the Watkins has been linked, Bembo and Buenda also been linked as well. So a lot of the key ingredients to Brentford this season could be on the move next. So we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, Brentford 12th. That was a bit wrong. Bristol City 12th in the real world. Middlesbrough had as high as 11th. Of course, that was the mighty blue and white, and in this regards, black and red. I'm hoping a black and red shirt next season. That'd be great if we can get one of them back. I do like this look from Rovers. So yeah, Rovers finishing a little bit shitty as well. Again, we didn't really bounce back in the old COVID environment as I was hoping for. We entered it into a playoff possibility, and it just kind of fell flat. And again, we need snookers. We need snookers in the end to get ourselves up. But to be honest with you, I did call a 10th spot finish for Blackburn, and we did finish 11th. So I was around about right. It's a little bit kick in the bollocks that we came so close. Derby finished in 10th, and in the real world, I did have them around about in the playoffs. I think maybe even as high as third. I thought the Wayne Rooney effect would do wonders. And again, they've got a bit of a penalty looming for them, so we may not see them knocking on the door very, very soon either. So it could be another season of turmoil for Derby as they try to wangle their way back up the old championship table. So 10th spot, Derby in the real world. That was in the real world. I did call Blackburn Rovers, so not too bad on that one. Next season's massive though for Mowbray. I think he has to go that extra furlong and get into the playoffs at the very least. Fail all you like, do an absolute collapse in the playoffs, but get in there and be in the discussion as well. And hopefully maybe we can reinvest and bring in some actual defenders and a really good goalkeeper. Then we might have the foundations of something to build on. I went with Swansea in 9th. Preston was 9th in the real world. Of course, Swansea squeaking into the old playoffs at the last. Didn't expect it. Didn't believe in the Cooper. I thought he was a wild card. But how wrong was I? Sneaking in there, lastminute.com. Great signings. Ryan Brewster was phenomenal. Gallagher was phenomenal as well, and he's also been linked with a Bundesliga move since the conclusion of this playoffs and all that kind of jazz. So they used the loan market bang on, and it worked to their effect, and they had some really good players as well. But a lot of the guys that they had on the books, heavy earners, and of course now what's going to happen with not only Premier League football but also the situations that we're in right now. So they're going to have to sell the likes possibly of RU and maybe the some of the key ingredients in there. 8th spot, I went with Huddersfield. Of course, they're the nightmare. They finished in 18th in the real world. It was Millwall had a phenomenal season under Rowett. Don't expect that next season, though. I don't expect Rowett to drive them forward up there this season. It was phenomenal for them. However, they have brought in Troy Parrott already for the new season, and he is a bit of a player. So I could be wrong on this one. We'll look into my predictions for next season further down the road, back in the month, I think. 7th place, I did go with Cardiff. Nottingham Forest was in the real world, of course. Unlucky for them. So Cardiff, they did finish, in fact, in 5th, so it wasn't too bad a pick. I did see them just shy falling outside the playoffs. This was with Warnock in charge as well, way back when. So it wasn't a bad pick. And at one point when they got rid of Warnock, I thought, you know what, they're not even in the discussion. So Neil Harris has come in and done a phenomenal job for them. And again, I don't really expect them to be there next season. I think they're going to have a bit of a wobble. I'm not convinced with Harris or Rowett as managers at the moment, but we'll see. Stoke finishing in 6th. Of course, they had an absolute shitter, but they turned it around. Again, this was with Jones, because they ended the previous season airtight at the back, and I thought that's what all they needed was goal scorers, and they tried to rectify that in the transfer window last season, but it didn't work out for them. Of course, they're finishing in 15th. But next season could be something different, but again, not sure if I'm a believer of O'Neill. I actually went with Swansea City. Swansea City finishing in 6th in the real world. I went with Fulham in 5th. Of course, they celebrated going to the Premier League once again after finishing in 4th, so that's not too bad. In the real world, it was Cardiff, of course, the South Wales teams both making it through to the playoffs, which was great for the country, and also great for the league as well, just to spice it up a little bit. Yeah, for Fulham, I called it in 5. They did finish in 4th, not too bad. I never thought that they would get up automatics. I thought they would stumble into the playoffs and eventually. Me picking them in 5th, didn't actually expect them to go up automatically or eventually. I just thought they would get to the playoffs. But they did it. They played the cards right. 4th spot, West Brom was my call. Fulham was in the real world. Of course, West Brom going up in the top 2. That ain't too bad. You know what? This top 5 is looking okay. I know one of them is going to be an absolute shitter. In fact, 2 of them might be an absolute shitter. I don't even know who I did put in third. Bristol City. Yeah, I did believe in Lee Johnson. I thought he could go that extra furlong and push them into the playoffs. But yeah, got that one wrong. Big time. Of course, in the real world, Brentford did finish in 3rd, but that could be 3rd is probably. To be honest, I think over the records or over the recent season, the team that does finish in 3rd ultimately hardly ever gets to the Premier League, the promised land. So you don't want to finish there. Derby, I went for in 2nd. Yes, I did believe in the Wayne Rooney effect and the Cocu effect, but unfortunately that didn't work out. They finished in 10th, and of course I did go with Leeds United, top banana. That's right. So all in all, I did okay. It's not brilliant, of course it is, but whoever whose predictions are brilliant, if you can show me somebody in the comment section that did pretty much 95% correct, I will yeah, I don't know. I'll shave off my head. Already done that. It's hard. This is the hardest division in the world to predict. Leeds, of course, were nailed on. I think they had a bit of a bottle job last time, and keeping Bielsa was massive. They'll be in the Premier League next season, and for them, congratulations. Of course, their fans can be a little bit like Marmite. You either love them or you hate them. But I'm happy for that club. The size of that club deserves to be in the Premier League. And we were all laughing, of course, way back when they got relegated because of the size of it. It's just like when Newcastle got relegated. The size of the club, it's like Sunderland right now. You know, they think they're bigger than that. They're bigger than now. You know what I mean? So, but they've suffered their time in the doldrums, and I'm glad for them to be back. Of course, reigniting some of their old rivalries and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's it. Yeah, Leeds United will be back in the Premier League alongside West Brom, and unfortunately, Brentford miss out to the expense of their local rivals, Fulham. So yes, of course, I'll be doing something just like this for the new season very, very soon. Give me a couple of weeks to once maybe a few transfers come through the window, all that kind of jazz, and then I'll fire it up again. But that, my friends, is it. What do you think? How close to the money was I? Was I pretty shit or was I pretty good? Anyway, until then, give this video some love, smash the old thumbs up, but of course, smash the old subscribe. New videos every single day on the channel, whether it is something like this, Football Manager, a Nations League. We got it all here, boys, under one roof. Also, if you want to go that extra mile, you can check out the old description and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and of course, become a patron. I am looking for Patreon number 13. Could you be that one? There is a link down below, patreon.com/roverseas. Check it out. So there are some perks and privileges for patrons. Albeit a couple. Anyway, until then though, I'm going to get out of here. I've got some more to do. Got League 1, League 2, and of course Serie A. Till then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.